this will allow him, and he said that their company can also, you know, write violations for cars that are legally parked and stuff at night. So that'll give him, instead of him, because right now he leaves at 3, so he only has 1 hour to police the whole development looking for cars that are legally parked. That's an issue. He has 1 hour to circulate the entire development. Now they'll have 3 hours to circulate the entire development, which we think is a more tangible goal.
We should. Can we, and I'm not negating the need for security or whatnot, but it seems to be that what we're harping on here is his ability to flag cars that aren't parked correctly. Have we considered to look at the option instead of his hours being 6 to 3 a.m., maybe his hours be 7 p.m. to 4 a.m.? I mean, they're on our schedule. So if we're worried about the hours after 3 a.m., maybe we do a trial and say, hey, let's go out there from 7 to 4 instead of 6 to 3 and see how.
Not to cut you off, that's exactly what we discussed. At first, we were talking about doing 24 hours a day, which we thought was overkill at first. Why not just change it as of right now to 5 to 5? See how that goes. See what happens.
Why not do 7 to 4? That doesn't cost us any money.
See what happens with this new change. See how it's implemented. See if it does deter people and the security issues go down, and then go from there.
So what's the purpose of all that over security? We have high level of criminality in the neighborhood.
I guess I don't understand your question.
Well, we seem to never have enough security around here. And to my knowledge, there is no criminality. So what are we trying to stop?
Well, this would be
people from leaving?
I don't understand your question.
I don't get that over security.
Well, let me try to answer.
Over from 5 p.m. to 4 a.m. in the morning. What is he gonna do? From 5 to 7, people are coming back to work.
I don't 100% understand your question, but I'll try to answer. The security committee is there to vote on issues to present to the board. This is an agenda item on the board. Any of those on the committee, it was voted yes. That's why I'm bringing it. Now, many developments don't have security guards at all, and they don't have security issues. And I totally understand that. And I'm not saying I'm against that. I'm saying as of right now, the committee is proposed to make this change to see if it is a hindrance to people.
Yeah, I think what he was asking, what documentation do we have showing that we have had issues that we need to worry about?
We've received complaints of people parking illegally.
There's just a parking issue.
That's one of the issues, but let's just be frank. What are the most problems that occur between midnight and late?
But what problems have we here? Because when you look at the security reports, first of all, the only thing they tell you is to call the police. So aside from giving parking tickets, what exactly is this rover doing?
It's the image of a deterrent. The simple fact of seeing a person in a security vehicle driving around in itself is an additional deterrent to prevent people from doing things they shouldn't be doing.
Well, let me see if I can raise a couple of points too. I mean, obviously we have a rover because we're not outside at 3 in the morning. We need to have people moving around. So I don't think there's any desire to get rid of the rover completely. What I think makes a lot of sense, and I would ask that your committee, when you're looking at bids and what the additional costs would be in following with the security company about this, I would ask the committee to look at 7 to 4, kind of shifting it backward, because with the daylight savings time and all of that, I mean, if we've got somebody coming on at 5 and it doesn't get dark until 8, that's probably 3 hours that really don't need them. Okay. At least it seems to me. So if we can find a happy medium between it getting dark at 6 and it getting dark at 8, and we select 7 or 7:30, and we run to 4 or 4:30, that might be, I think, the best way to do it, at least in my opinion. But I'd ask the committee to look at that. The other thing is and I've never known what the point of this is, but I want to ask. You know, we have these signs in front of our communities that says, you know, you can get towed if you're illegally parked, this, and this. If we have so many issues with people that are not properly parking, why are we not towing? And that's something that the security committee has looked at, because we don't have to pay a towing company like $20 an hour to come in here. So I would ask for you all to let us know about that.
We have.
Okay, so what was
As,
the?
as of right now, from my understanding, it's said that after the third violation, your vehicle gets towed. I don't know if that's how enforced that is right now.
Right.
The security committee, the new chair, Matt, and myself, we're looking to meet with Christine to discuss that. That's actually one of the items I have on here.
So the track would,
So we'll
the track
to see,
violation.
we'll take in to see, you know, yeah, exactly, see actually what is taking place. If on that third violation, are they being towed? But to be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know.
When you're done looking at
Sounds
that,
like-
when you're done looking at that as a committee, I would love to have a recommendation from your committee about how we can enforce that, because I don't see the need to spend an extra $20 an hour times 3 or 2.5 when we have people that are openly violating and they know better. And if we need to talk about places for them to park and, you know, parking lot or something like that, and taking out a park and put it in a parking lot, we can talk about that. But I think we need to get
Like I
there's
said,
a lot of people in the zero lot line area that have a real problem with
Right,
parking.
and yeah, because there's not a lot of places to park.
Exactly.
And like I said, I don't necessarily disagree with you. This is just what was going on with me.
Right.
I can surely bring that back and see if it just look at it, and then let you guys know.
Great, great.
I just have a quick comment, just so everybody knows the policy. If you get 3 tickets within 30 days, you are on a tow list. The tow list is in our manager's report, okay? And every week, it's in a manager's report, the tow list. And when that security person is out there, and he sees that vehicle for the 4th time within 30 days, that vehicle will be towed. That is policy. Security knows that.
Do we have a record as to how many vehicles have been towed?
Yeah,
How many have been towed
we get the
recently?
pictures.
How many have been towed?
This week, this month, this year,
Let's just say the last 30 days.
the last 30 days, I've taken 2.
2.
Can we start getting that recorded?
Pardon?
Yeah.
Can we start getting that in our reports, and how many cars we've
Or at
got?
least to the security committee and the security committee.
Yeah, it is.
That would be helpful.
Yeah.
So we gotta get some movement on this issue, because there's too many people that have had problems with it. And what I don't wanna have is, well, we got a document to put in the file, and we've got to document this. And yes, we do have to document things, and we do have to give people due process, but at some point, people are openly violating the rules and not doing the right thing. So we need to be able to have a triggering mechanism to deal with that.
Well,
I'll make a quick comment.
Yeah.
Christine, so now we don't, could you on the first of each month send us the previous month, how many, or whenever you get those tallied, how many violations there were of the situation?
It's in the incident report. If anybody gets towed, the tow papers get put in with the incident reports that you get every Friday.
I guess really all my question is.
We want a summary.
In my manager's report.
We have 50 pages, we want a summary, just like a, you know,
Sure.
that's what I think he's talking
A
about.
monthly, not a weekly summary, a month, he's asking for a monthly summary.
And last time we got.
I see a problem regarding the speed. People are speeding all
That's
over the board.
the next comment, that's the next item I have.
Yes, that's what I want to ask. That's the project.
No problem, yeah, we're on, that's my last thing on that.
Can I just take one more question? Is it possible that we can look at an alternative?
The committee will. The committee.
The security committee look at an alternative for parking? Is it for all these people that don't have a place to park?
That's the issue, that there is none.
You're not gonna-
Well, there's gotta be something we can do.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, it's just not unless you amend the current bylaws, because there's nowhere to park. You're talking about, let's take, for example, the main developments with the sidewalk. You only get 2 cars on that driveway. You get 2 cars. So if they have,
That's before.
right, well, I agree with you, but some people don't have, I'm just letting you know, not everybody has pristine garage. So let's say you can fit 1 car in there, let's say you have 2 kids and you have 2 adults. Now your issue is you can get 2 in your driveway, 1 in your garage, and the other one's not allowed to park on the road. So, unless we're gonna amend those laws, they have to be policed. If we have rules, then we have to follow them. If we're gonna, let them slide, then that's another thing. But the other thing is that cars don't follow the proper law, let's be honest. When you have 1 car on this side and another car on this side, they're both parked adjacent from each other, now the car can barely get through. So, it is what it is. You only have so many places to park, and people have parties, if you will. They're gonna park down the line, and it becomes comes to situation.
So I would just ask the committee, your committee to kind of, I mean, I know some places that have, you know, today we're parking on the right. Tomorrow we're parking on the left. You know, we have to look at
I
options.
think we have that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but right now we have that. You're allowed to park on the other side of the road as long as you're following the correct
They have to be
Yes,
side of the
staggered,
road.
they have to be staggered.
But they have to be staggered so that they're not adjacent directly across.
It will hopefully be easier when we have the striping on the sides of cars to get in. We can identify people that live here versus people that don't live here, cars that may be here for a longer period of time. These are things that I would ask the community to look at. Less comment, we gotta get rid of.
Yeah, quick question. Is it a law that we cannot park on the street overnight? Is that a law?
It's not a, it's
It's
not a law in terms of police law. It's a law in terms of Palm Beach Plantation bylaw. The last thing on my list, unless there's any other comments, I never was expecting this many comments, but I think it's good. The last thing on the list is, speed, that you mentioned, people speeding. Christine has taken upon herself to look into that with, Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, to possibly look into obtaining a survey. We don't know how much it's gonna cost yet, but there's some costs associated with that. And if we complete that, then PBSO can come in here and police the speed, whether it's with, the signs that deter people, that sometimes that's enough, that it goes up deterrent speed, or putting an officer on the main road, or whatever is necessary at the time.
I have just one more thing to say, if I may.
Yes, sir.
With the Rover, the changing his hours, I just don't see it, a good idea to increase it any more than the 9 hours. 12 hours and they'll put a Rover for 12 hours, and that's like inhuman.
Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with you, but we are gonna look at.
They're gonna-
We'll present.
I would ask that you give, because you have some good historical knowledge, I would ask that you provide your information and
I
questions to
have
the
been giving
committee.
you whatever I have.
Because I do agree, I'm very concerned about adding to our already, fixed expense report at this point with additional hours. Yes, real quickly, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, you.
I'm on the security committee, folks,
Yes.
and one of the issues we've been raising with regard to the parking is with the Rover's hours till 3, the last hour, the Rover patrols one last time the perimeter of the clubhouse. So in our community, we're not allowed to park on the street from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. or 8 a.m. So any car that comes in after that point in time, there's no one there so if I accidentally forget to put my car in my driveway, I'm gonna get a ticket because I got home earlier. But the person that comes home every single night at 2:15 a.m. is gonna park on the street every night across from my driveway, across from her driveway, across from somebody's driveway, and never end up getting a ticket because the last hour that the Rover is spent here is spent in the clubhouse, when if they were here during that time, they would be able to go around and give parking violations to those people who are parked on the road overnight. So even if we just slid their hours back 3 hours, maybe.
Yeah.
Right.
That was a problem.
Yeah, I would ask the committee to look at that, that's what we're gonna ask. Yes, Dawn, quick.
Yeah, and
Yes.
I agree with what Angela's saying and what you recommended about just adjusting the hours instead of impacting the budget. But I'd also like to say in defense of the committee and what they're looking at as far as the towing, there is state regulations and one will put in because there is a policy that has been followed on the towing. It is a full-time thing, you have to send these letters out, et cetera. But anyway, you're never gonna get the right amount of people towed that should be towed that are committing whatever parking violations because the Rover leaves at 2. So in order to get that 3 strikes you're towed, somebody's got to be ticketing these vehicles between 2 and 4 when they're actually on the road. So that's the biggest problem that you're having right now, I think. So if you adjust those hours, I'm not talking about impacting the budget, just try changing the hours.
That's fine. And that's the
Then you
other.
could tow more.
I think
The
we're
other
on,
comment- The other comment to that is if you simply adjust the hours, the main time that people come into this development are around 5:30, 6 o'clock, according to the security company. So if you pull that Rover back an hour, that's one less individual that you're gonna have policing during the busiest time of people coming in.
I think it just needs to be, it's obviously a healthy issue that deserves discussion, and we don't have the time to solve all the world's problems.
Security's done. We're done.
Excellent. I got Suzanne, and then, yes. First,
Real fast, I want to know, when the rover's not here, I sent Christine pretty much every day, a picture of the car right outside my driveway, but the wrong direction of the road. Every day, they just sit, but it's during the day. So how do they end up on the tow list, how do they not, what happens to this person? I'm over it. Every day, wrong side of the road, facing the wrong direction. What happens to them?
Follow-up, accountability, follow-up,
Christine,
that's.
I send pictures every day.
And I call them when I go out there and I knock on their doors.
Well, when are they gonna get towed? And I know it's more than 3 times at this point.
Right, they get the violation letter, right, and I told you, then they get the courtesy letter, then they get the violation letter, only then do they go on the phone list.
I mean, I know it's been more than 3 times. But I'm saying something needs to be, that needs to be accountable too. If it's not the rover doing it, it's just residents complaining during the day about violations. Something's gotta give, especially with every single day at the end of my driveway.
Yeah, yes, ma'am, last question, then we're done.
I just want to know, what are the hours that you are allowed to park on the street?
8 a.m.
2 a.m.
Till 2 in the morning?
So not between 2 a.m. and 8 a.m.
And you have to be facing the correct way. I
Yep.
just want to be clear. And if we
Yeah.
get, I just want to see if
So
I
just-
can on a car.
just so everybody that's listening on the mic here.
When it's till 2.
You're allowed to park on the side of the road as long as you're not directly opposite another car from 8 a.m.
Till 2.
to 2 a.m.
As long as you're not blocking somebody.
And you park in the right direction.
Correct.
Not facing the wrong direction. There's probably other things I'm missing, but that's the 90% that everybody needs to
Wanted it
know.
to be clear.
Yes.
Rules
Rules are on the
hours
website,
for
right?
you to park.
The rules are on the website. I don't know where they are on the website. Where are they on the
Under
website?
documents.
And I e-blast
Under
most
documents.
Fridays.
Check the website. Okay. Moving swiftly, because we have some guests here, and I want to move through these last reports quickly. We got to get to John and Katie. So, maintenance committee, yes, John.
Okay, our last meeting happened on the 31st of January, and we had the purpose of this meeting was to walk through the neighborhood to evaluate the drainage problem. So we had some people working on it, and our next meeting is unfortunately tomorrow, so we couldn't have it for today, but that would be one of the main subjects of the discussion. We had some bid present for the pressure washing of the monument, the gate house, and the tower. These were in accordance with the landscaping because they are redoing the landscaping, and we want to spruce up our monument and clean them and repaint them. Unfortunately, the painting bid are hard to get, but as far as the cleaning, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 bids that are ready to be approved if we can have it approved tonight.
You have a recommendation in your committee?
Yeah. We have, I'll give you the 4 price, you decide. Palm Beach pressure cleaning, 1,700, AAA fast construction, 1,800, Mr. C pressure cleaning, 1,050, and Summit pressure cleaning, 600. The Summit pressure cleaning is the lowest price. He's been doing work for a person by the name of Carol Wrestling here in the neighborhood, and apparently she was very satisfied with his service. So I would propose that we go with Summit pressure cleaning.
Okay, we have discussion for a moment,
Sure,
please.
any questions?
I really would appreciate that this would be presented to the members of the board before the meeting so that we could review it. I mean, one of the things in the code of conduct states that this should be presented to the board, all bids, so that we can review it. You telling me something right there, I don't even know what I'm looking at, you know, and everything has to be in a spreadsheet, just like, when, you know, when we were looking at the spreadsheet today. To me, I'm looking at something like that without having it in front of me and reviewing it, it's premature.
Yeah, but we didn't do that for the auditor.
I know it was wrong. We should have been able to review it beforehand. This is the way policy
Well,
protocol is supposed
we can
to
do
be.
this, it's gonna delay the work for another month, I don't care.
That's not the point. I'm just saying
Well-
that we should be doing it properly.
Let me make sure that I understand what we're talking about here. We're talking about pressure washing of the monuments, of the signs that are out front, the tall signs,
Yeah.
right, and the guard shack.
You got a house?
Okay, and both the back gate and the front gate?
Yeah.
Okay, and we're talking about a $600